Hi class, this is Professor Reniski, and I'm here to talk to you about the upcoming final project, Part 1, Milestone 2, that is due at the end of this week. And so what I first want to tell you is that within your module folders, you will notice that you have a template that can very much help you, guide you in doing this assignment correctly. So this is what the cover page will look like. Before, on the prior page, there are some instructions. And the first thing that I want you to remember is to delete everything that's in red, okay? And here you're going to have some basic instructions about how to set up the page and what fonts to use and whatnot. Just remember to delete paragraph 1 and paragraph 2 headings as well. So just read these instructions carefully, okay? And here you're going to put your own full title and obviously your own name. And you're going to start off with a basic introduction, which is going to very briefly set the stage for what you're about to write. You're going to describe your company and what the product is that you're launching. And 3 to 4 sentences are sufficient. One word of caution, in the way I grade, if I start to see sentences that are filler, that are sort of fluff and not getting to the point, it's not going to read well for the paper. My thinking, as when I wrote papers in college and in graduate school, my philosophy is that in business writing, which this is, you get right to the point, okay? You're concise. Sometimes use bullet points, which is very effective in business writing, but concise and right to the point, okay? And in the first paragraph, you're going to describe the actual target market for your pet supplies new product, and you're going to include basic information about the target market, either demographic, psychographic, etc. And again, minimum 4 to 5 sentences, and get right to the point. Identify and describe the wants and needs. This part is going to be also important. What are the wants and needs of the target market? And you have to remember that you're also focusing on a specific segment of the overall target market. Again, a minimum 4 or 5 sentences, and again, very important, concise, right to the point. If you can, as I always tell students in the grading process, if you can write what you normally write in 6 to 7 sentences, if you can write it in 2 sentences, by all means do it in 2 sentences, right? In this case, 4 to 5, obviously. But what I'm getting at is that I don't want to see 10 or 15 sentences when you could easily have shrunk it down to 4 or 5 sentences. And then lastly, you're going to be writing a conclusion which refers back to the points that you made before. You're not introducing any new information here. So you're just going to be referring back to what you wrote prior in the paper and just tying it all together. And lastly, just make sure that you have sufficient references and that you cite appropriately. Now, what I next want to discuss with you is how to submit this, okay? So we're going to go to the actual our Blackboard site, and this is, I believe, we're going to go to module 3, which this is based on, and you will go down to where your final project 1 assignment is, and here you see where you can find the actual template, right? Once you finish your writing and whatnot, you're going to click on this link, and it's going to bring you into the assignment area where you submit. Now, here's the important part. You can write the submission, okay, and I'll click on this in a second, or you can attach your file to it. I would prefer that you write it, because as I'll show you later, it'll be easier to give you comments and grading. What I do not want you to do is to submit your assignment in this area. Do not submit it in the add comments area. This is just an area for you to write a comment outside of the actual assignment. The reason that I don't want you to submit it here is because I will not be able to grade it properly, in the sense I won't be able to give you feedback. It populates the text into some area where I can't access and comment on it. So I prefer to submit it here in the Write Submission button. And so we click on that, and it brings you to a familiar site where it's similar to the discussion board text editor, right? And you can basically copy and paste into here. I prefer, or it's going to be a lot easier if you do your writing, if you are to submit it in this section here, if you do your writing in a text editor, not necessarily Microsoft Word, because if you use Microsoft Word, it's going to bring a lot of junk like formatting and stuff that's going to throw a lot of this stuff off. So if you can, if you're using a Mac, your Mac came with a program called TextEdit, which saves files as RTF documents, .rtf or .txt. If you're using a Windows-based computer, I believe it's called Notepad, and there's some other programs that are text editor programs that you can download. Or alternatively, you can conceivably write it in Microsoft Word and then save it as a text file. Okay, instead of a .doc, save it as a .txt file or .rtf. I think it also gives you that option. And once you did that, then you can copy and paste here. Okay. Alternatively, you can attach the file, but again, beware. Just as long as you don't submit it in this section. Once you're done, you click submit, and then you're all done. So I hope that helps. One more note. I have uploaded some additional lecture notes into this current week's discussion board. I think it might prove useful for you to get a better understanding of how segmentation and target marketing works hand in hand. And that's it. I wish you lots of luck, and just one word of caution: don't wait till the last minute to write this up, because it's going to snowball on you. So I look forward to seeing all your assignments, and good luck.